Game 3, Adjux versus Nexus. 2 games to Adjux. Best of 5, I believe. Also, we will be seeing a 3rd game. Both playing Seraphim, because, well, floating Zuis, floating Yenzines, mainly the Zuis though, destroyers, pretty much easiest to use. High capacity transports. Options you could take are Cyberin, because they're generally just strong all around. UEF if you're banking on being able to terminate to the late game, and Aeon if you have, well, I don't know, any reason ranging from style points to whatever. But right now we already have a difference, which is Adjux is going to walk to that island, whereas he's going to let Nexus seems to be doing the more conventional thing of just building an ACU build at home. You see engineers expanding, just going to like float in this case to the back islands, get the reclaim of the trees. Technically speaking, if you want to be really anal about it, you make a move command, reclaim, move, reclaim, move, reclaim. Slow was someone who can do that, because otherwise you risk breaking the trees, and the only main thing you need to grab are the rocks. Although the trees are still effective, because A, they contain mass, and B, early on energy is a problem, but you see this huge catch-up from Adjux in order to get his power under control, because you see Nexus already has his transport out, and Adjux has to build his air factory somewhere else entirely. So he's going to build a transport, whereas if someone had made an aggressive play with, like, I don't know, interceptors and scouts to try and catch this would be completely useless to him. But he probably take a gamble that, well, most high-level players won't bank everything on getting an aggressive early ints out. They just go early transport just because it's the most economically efficient thing to do and very difficult to stop, actually. When you rush a transport as hard as that out. So this transport load of engineers will happily sit here. Although I have to question whether they're all going to drop or they're going to divide them. Nope, he's going to try and challenge this island, although I'm not sure about the wisdom of that. Considering, well, there's already something there. Does Adjux actually know that though? He does, so I'm not sure why he's choosing to, but he's choosing to regardless. And, well, the radar, just 5 units of build capacity, but Nexus sees this, he's really moving in, assisting his factory in order to build units. No. Well, this artillery just needs to roll in and kill the build capacity and say good night to this attempt and say hello casual 400 reclaim, hello casual 400 reclaim. Meanwhile, Adjux already has his comm on this island. And, well, Nexus has his engineers on this as well, so I guess you could say, I don't know what the thinking about it was, but that's how it is. Scouts out, no teching for Nexus, which is actually very strange, as most people will try and tech immediately after getting the air factory, the transport out, and now he's got, well, let's see, what, 3 engineers in the comm, 5 units of build capacity on power, and now he's got another 2 on it, whereas I don't know what more engineers, I don't know what the reason is. And of course his power's going to his massive problems. Nexus, Adjux meanwhile, more transport, more NGs, more teching. It's just happily sitting going, look at me. I have perfect balance. Naval spam has been started. This transport's going to just keep moving, but I think Nexus is here first, but hasn't built a PD, and depends how attentive he is in order to, well, maintain, never mind, it gets shot down. Bad timing, bad place. And now we see floating RT moving out, but frigates will deal with that without any difficulty, especially early stage. Assuming you're paying attention anyway. Both players getting on top of their power. Tech 2 coming out for Nexus. Probably in order to get those Tech 2 P-gens faster. Maybe gunship harass if you're feeling like it. as always taking up the core mass extractors, never the periphery, because of how easily raidable they are. You can counter perhaps with a PD, but even that's a bit temperamental. Building one of those on each side. It's very common of naval factory, which you can assist, just because it gives you a better hold in the area, and your opponent generally will give a bit more respect. And the mechs it's like nearest to is often countered as protected thereby as an extension, but Nexus comes in, slaughters the build capacity, and tries to leave. But Adjux meanwhile, well, power galore. There's no tech 2 from him, he's just trying to tech and somehow getting away with it. Nexus, tech 2 P-gens operational, but now he hasn't got the mass, but he can reclaim his tech 1 if he needs to. Very commonly you'll find that people will try and get all the core mass up to tech 2 before trying to crap out destroyers, just to get the ego under control. But, well, Nexus very fast at tech 2, and Adjux hasn't even, as he started, he just finished, of which he still needs to build engineer for power. So yeah, this destroyer's already going to get out before Adjux ever begun his. The only difficulty right now is these frigates aren't exactly being used in the best manner. Like, this is what you should be doing, running around, killing everything on the periphery, and then leaving it, but this, just casually sitting here, achieving nothing, perhaps not, and outnumbered, just gonna lose them. And if you have your early destroyer, this is a force multiplier rather than a force in itself. Like, you just sit there amongst frigates, the frigates can't approach and kill you, but your destroyer happily pick them apart, so now it's lost all of its escorts. The destroyer will not be able to deal with this as effectively otherwise could do. Tech 2 power attempt to come online for Adjux. It's nearly dead, not quite. But you can actually see, and I missed it, Nexus has happily taken all the rear islands for Adjux. So Nexus could build radars on each of these if he wished to. Just to have a feed-in situation, just a tank and engineer in each one, probably utilising the Seraphim Tech 1 transport advantage of being able to hook 8 units to his maximum. But you see Tech 2 unit, Tech 2 air coming into play, just, well, torpedo bombers would deal with the frigates without too much difficulty. Gunships as well, as predicted, just harassment. And now spamming our interceptor to try and maintain the air control game. 27 frigates for Adjux, and actually you can see here the deficit, 20 more frigates than Nexus. So you don't particularly need frigates as Seraphim, just due to how powerful the Seraphim destroyer is and how good it is at destroying frigates. You stay at range, you'll be able to kill frigates forever. Meanwhile, gunships going to work on all the peripheral Nexus. Although I'm not sure why he didn't, for instance, send one around trying to destroy the remnants of the Tech 2 mechs, but that implies he was paying attention. I have no idea what the sound balance is like, because I can't hear a thing, yet when I was testing my video it sounded hilariously loud. Anyway. Now we see that Nexus has submerged all his destroyers, and there's absolutely no reason not to, so the frigates won't be able to do anything to help their destroyers, and if you have numbers advantage here, you of your destroyers to his, you negate his advantage of frigates, so that's a good move there. With regards to whether using these torpedo bombers correctly is another thing entirely. The cruiser will do its work, and now the destroyers can move in and kill all this if they so wish to. Frigates will chase this down, but now you have 2 versus 1, and perhaps not the best idea. This one lagging behind, and this one in position to pick off all this group, but this is not doing anything. And eventually he's going to have to turn around, which he's doing right now. All these are getting tech to tech 2, but there's no tech 2 on the rest of this island, which is a bit strange. And I'm wondering who's going to take the plunge to tech 3 mechs first. Well, once you've grabbed a few wrecks, it's not that much of a stretch to do so. Just spamming that tech 1 air, but Adjux is pulling ahead in economy. This needs to be retaken however it can. Even if just building a Tech 2 radar, but you see it has this net here because Seraphim don't have Tech 3 sonar for some bizarre reason. So some things that I've seen people do, like Blackheart, he will get his RAS and he will simply build an Omni radar instead somewhere, which will cover a fair amount and will pretty much have the same function. Sure, you can't deal C subs, but they're not that common. Ironically enough, no cruisers for Nexus, as he's completely reliant on his air superiority to deal with this, and I think he probably does have air superiority so long as he doesn't fly over this absolute no-go zone here of a cruiser. If he does, that's utterly dead. Nexus thinks he has the advantage, so will push in, but the answer is no, actually he doesn't. He has exactly, what, 4 cruisers for destroyers versus 6, 7 for Adjux, so this is a massive loss. Even with the Yenzines, if he had some artillery perhaps, but he's going to try and equalize it. He's taken out all the cruisers, so he's going to try and take out the destroyers, but I'm going to say relatively poor micro. He's a completely and utterly overkilled one. Emergency anti-air going up the island trying to give some assistance, but there are no engineers in the area to deal with this enormous wreckage field. And it's just as simple as having a transport on standby load of engineers, so if Nexus was Mephi, you would see him happily do that. This would already be being gobbled up and converted into more units with Tech 3. Adjux, although, however, is forced to build more cruisers. Needs more power as well, and wondering what he's up to. So this, lost it. This was his to win, but then he lost it completely due to air power. So this is looking very favourable for Nexus right now. No Tech 3 Vexes, not enough destroyers to deal with this as fast as they are. He has the economic advantage, but, well, his only saving grace right now is this is not being taken, and Adjux throws in the towel, it looks like. Yep, that'll do that. This is the power of air to just completely swing this around. So you can see that Adjux had maybe a better economy, but the superior units in this case paid off. Where although he had more destroyers, the torpedo bombers came in and ruined everything. I don't know, he could have kept his cruisers further back perhaps to defend against it, but Nexus pretty much immediately went for the cruisers and sacrificed everything he had in order to do so, and then once that was done, free reign for his superior air torpedo bombers to clean everything up, didn't even need this. And in the meantime, this was completely under siege, this could all die to destroyers. Adjux sees no way back from, well, the amount of numbers and the amount of air,